one place to start. That was with Arsenal's 5-star performance yesterday. 5 goals. Gabriel Jesus not amongst the 5 goals. Rhys Nelson was. Top Gooners today, super fans alike all around the world. Sign him up. Give him a new contract. So I thought that's where we should probably start before the performance of the rest of the team. Is probably with Rhys Nelson. He's got less than a year left on his contract. I've seen people saying, oh, he's got more goals than Sancho this season. Nobody cares. Like, do you think Jadon Sancho's lost any sleep over that? I don't think he has. Like, genuinely, nobody cares. He's played 65 minutes of football for Arsenal in the Premier League. And off of the back of that, most people that I've seen today are saying, sign him up to a new contract. My opinion quickly on that is, have we not learned our lesson from Eddie Nketiah? Because this guy was literally walking out the door. Here's the king's number. Here's 100 grand a week. And what have we got in return so far? Nada. Do we not learn our lessons on that? Jez, what are your thoughts on Rhys Nelson? I don't dislike Rhys, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. But after 65 minutes, if that's how easily pleased our fans are to sign him up, then we're in a lot of trouble going forward. What did you make of him, his performance, and would you give him a new deal?
It was a good performance. 2 very nice goals. I wouldn't make any changes to the contract. No, this is typical Arsenal. Lee, Kenny, it's panic, panic, panic. If Edu and all that crew get their facts right and do the business, we can get better quality in. But no, I'm fed up with seeing this. I mean, you're quite right in what you said. Eddie Nketiah, yeah, okay. Scored a few goals last season. He ain't worth 100 grand a week. I said that. You said it. All of us said it. And look at the return we're getting. The guy is absolute crap. He's crap. He came on and what did he do yesterday? Nothing.
Run around in like a headless chicken. Did nothing.
He panics, and I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. And Rhys Nelson, well, yeah, I like the guy, but you've got to prove it that you're actually. If he was to get more game time and to actually prove his worth, then I'd say maybe in the summer. But let's wait and see. Let's not sign him up tomorrow for some stupid, ridiculous contract, and then he doesn't deliver. No, sorry, not for me.
Mate, I tend to agree. Kenny, you was at the game live. You see his goals, witnessed them there and then as they happened, mate. And what do you make of him and his performance yesterday? And would you give him a new contract?
Well, I was very pleased with his performance, and I marked him accordingly yesterday in the play ratings. I gave him a 9 out of 10. And he opened a deluge of goals with his second and third goals, and he basically opened the game up, because I think towards the end of the first half, there was a lot of restlessness, because I think us scoring early, you would have thought that we would have just like turned them over, but they actually got a bit of encouragement. We were giving the ball away and they were pressing us, but they didn't have an end product. The second half, he took the game away from us. But in terms of Rhys Nelson, Arsenal fans need to sort of like relax themselves and stop going on like pork chops, as Mr. B says, because let's be honest, we've already heard rumours that are not going away, that if we are going to buy players, Mikel Arteta is going to be looking for, obviously, he's looking for another midfielder and a winger. Now, that winger shouts out loudly, which means if, like I said, they are looking for a winger, then I don't see any reason why they're looking for a winger when they got Rhys Nelson. Rhys Nelson hasn't cut at Arsenal. Injuries, loans, or everything. He's not going to get a new contract. It's just not going to happen. No matter how much he can play. For a start, he's only going to be an understudy to Bukayo Saka, who we all hope makes a quick recovery. And obviously, England fans and Gareth Southgate hopes he plays in World Cup, because Rhys, we're not going to be playing Forest every day. And I say that respectfully, because normally in games, we're not able to pass through the lines. We're not able to sort of like stretch teams, because teams nowadays, staple diet Premiership teams are good defensively, and that you have to pressure them. Forest, we're just walking through them. So, I was not discrediting Rhys, but that maybe a week's time at the bridge, and maybe against after Christmas against better teams, he wouldn't be forming like that. That's just a fact. So he ain't be getting a new contract. But respect to Arsenal fans for saying that, because all Arsenal fans and all fans like it when academy players do well, because it makes them feel that an Arsenal supporter is wearing a shirt with pride. But I think the ship's passed with Nelson, and I'm glad he had a good performance, and I hope he performs as well. But there's really a lot of work he needs to do to get a new contract, and I don't think he's going to get the time to do it, because there's better players in his position. So come this June, it'll be goodbye, wish you the best of luck, and a goodbye video. And that's not because I want it to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah, he's been here a long time, hasn't he? And he's never really kicked on. Like, he went out on loan, and that didn't really go down well either. I just want to share a tweet that somebody sent me earlier, by the way. This is actually hilarious. For anyone who hasn't seen this, this is the levels of delusion and backwards mentality that our fan base come out with, by the way. This is just mad. But I've seen a lot of things today about Rhys Nelson that I've thought, are you actually taking the piss? Like, real talk. Like, are you actually taking the piss? Can't get it. 1 second. Stay there, people. Smash the likes up while we're doing this. I will find it. 1 second. Oh, I know what I've done. I've put it in the wrong folder. Where are we? There we go. Right, let's add that into there. And then we'll put it, if I can find it again. There we go. Right. This is up there as quite possibly one of the weirdest things I've ever heard or seen in my social media life. Rhys Nelson is our Freddie Ljungberg.
You sure?
And when that was sent to me, nearly 4,000 people have liked it, Jez. This is the levels. These people deserve nothing good, ever. Yeah, and I know that's only one individual, but that one individual has nearly 300,000 followers, by the way, that clearly liked that post. And this is why I can't stand this fan base, if I'm honest, because as soon as they get something, i.e. Zinchenko, all of a sudden it's let's discard Kieran Tierney, which leads me on perfectly to the super chat that Chaitanya put in. Yeah, and he said, lads, are you concerned about the left-back situation? Zinchenko's nowhere to be seen with a calf injury. Why do we always get long-term calf injuries? Right? That's a great comment, and I appreciate the love, bro. Yeah. As soon as Zinchenko come in, it was let's discard Kieran Tierney. As soon as Saka goes off, by the way, he should have gone off 10 minutes earlier. Rhys Nelson comes on, scores 2 goals in a couple of minutes. Now he's our Freddie Ljungberg. They deserve nothing, Jez. Am I right or wrong here? Because how the hell, yeah, and that kid, yeah, I'm adamant that kid has never seen Freddie Ljungberg play. And if he has, he's probably about 3 years old.
I was just going to say that. Has he ever actually seen Freddie Ljungberg play? No. You might watch old clips of some of the best times of Freddie Ljungberg. No. This is the piss take of these people. Sorry I swore. But
swear as much as you like, mate.
No. The fact of the matter is that is an absolute ridiculous comment. It is nonsensical. It's got no foundation. One game of quality where he scored 2 very nice goals, and this person, whoever he is relating him to Freddie Ljungberg. You
know what? If the thing about it, right, is that this lad is a kid. He's probably read up in the history, and he's gone to the old game, and we still sing the Freddie song. They're different players. Freddie, first came to us as a right winger, but we quickly realised he was never that. He was never that. He was always going to be that sort of winger, sort of midfielder who just ghosted in and made the runs. You know what I mean? And scored loads of goals because he ran past the midfielder that held the ball up. Rhys don't play like that, so the comparison is lazy in that respect. But in terms of like Rhys, is that when Freddie Ljungberg first came to a great club, he hit the ground running. Albeit he had excellent players alongside him, but he had hit the ground running and made an absolute difference. This guy's going on like Rhys Nelson has just made his debut, and the brace he scored was on his debut, when really, and factually, Rhys has been here quite a while, and it just hasn't worked out of him in terms of his injuries, confidence levels, and that really, and sadly, because you like these kids to make it, he's not what we need or what we want, and that it's not going to be long until he's plying his trade elsewhere. I know the fans are going to say give him a new contract. I respect that. It's nice,
Kenny. But this is where I don't respect it. Yeah, I know you're being polite because you're a nice guy. Yeah, I just don't care. He's played 65 minutes of football, and it's here you go, throw a load of money at him because he's scored 2 goals. It's how easily pleased and starving this fan base are, Kenny.
But trust me, it's these. Anyone that go in the match, I'll tell you that at the match yesterday, not one person was talking about Rhys Nelson in those sort of terms. In fact, they spent more time praising Granit Xhaka and Partey. It was a nice little cameo for him, and respect to him. But he's not going to be here next season, because if Arsenal want to challenge for big honours, because Mick Arteta is saying that he's challenged his players to score 90 to 100 goals, which means that is the level of performances you want to challenge the league. This guy's not going to be part of the party, and pardon the pun, because he's not. He hasn't cut it for Arsenal. We don't need to find out whether he's good enough. We've given him a good few years, and it's just worked out. He's a big man now, hasn't worked out, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. To give him a new contract will be like going backwards. We've already done it, and it hasn't worked out in the first quarter of this season. And a lot of that to do is that you don't pay someone £100,000 a week to just walk on the bench. You pay him £100,000 a week to push Jesus for that starting berth and kick him out the door for that starting berth. So I'm sorry, at the moment with Eddie, it hasn't been money well spent, and I suspect that if Arsenal are ever going to be looking for a striker, it would not be inconceivable to think that they're not happy with Eddie's performances. Because Eddie, by giving Eddie £100,000 a week, it's because there's no need to buy a big striker, because we've got Eddie.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Like, I want to highlight this comment very quickly. Why are you complaining about one tweet, you sack? Right, number one, that person's got nearly 300,000 people that follow him, mate. Number two, he was probably less than maybe 8 years old when Freddie Ljungberg left the football club. Yeah, so if you're going to put a comparison of a player in, why don't you pick one that you've actually seen? Yeah, rather than one that you haven't seen at all. And if you have, you probably can't remember it. Yeah, and it definitely weren't in Freddie's prime. That's for sure. Yeah, Freddie left the club in 2007. Yeah, he was gone past his prime by then. Yeah, his prime was between 02 and 05. Yeah, that was the 3 years where he, maybe a little bit before that, actually. Maybe I'm doing him a little bit of a disservice here. Yeah, because he came in 99.
No, he came in 98. He scored in his debut, his first home game against Man United, and to be honest, he only blossomed when Overmars left the club.
True, yeah, that's true. If you actually go through season by season with him, he only hit double digits on goals twice. I'm looking at it now in the league. Yeah, 01-02 when we won the league. Yeah, and 04-05 when we won the FA Cup. He scored 10 that season. 01-02 he scored 12 in the league. How anyone can sit there and compare him to Freddie Ljungberg is just mad.